Every time I record one of these videos, it seems like that's when crime needs to strike Los Angeles. Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Ben with Company Grip. Today for our 10-minute review, we're going to be looking at the Spark Mini from Positive Grid. Let's get into it. So this is the Spark Mini, and it is pretty cool, and it is pretty mini. This is it next to my phone. Now inside the box, you don't really get too much that you don't expect. USB cable, strap, which I have put on reverse. You get a little manual. The amp itself, on the back side of it here, you'll get your power button, a pairing button, a USB charging port, as well as you can use this out to your DAW or your iWatch or however you want to record it. There's an auxiliary in, and lastly there is a headphone / line out. Now if you use that line out, it does shut off the speaker. I've got controversial thoughts on that. So on the top of the amp, you've got 4 different settings that you can program via the app. You've got a separate volume for your guitar, and you've got a separate volume for music. And that's a cool feature too. You can actually Bluetooth music to the speaker and play along with it with your guitar and adjust the different volumes individually. And then of course, lastly, you've got the input. According to the website, the Spark Mini is stereo. There's actually 2 different 2-inch speakers in there. When I had a reverb effect going, it did sound like the reverb was coming from outside the room. And I even took my phone and checked it, like, is it coming through the app through my phone? And no, I guess that is just what they claim as their super high-tech stereo imaging programming that they've got in the Spark Mini. So I'm going to download the app now, and then we'll get into some of the cool features of the Spark Mini. So first things I've noticed with this app is there's a Jimi Hendrix package available for 20 bucks that seems to come with the wah pedal. It comes with 4 different or 6 different amps in addition to the 33 that are already available. And it does look like there's 4 or 5 different stomp boxes that also will come with that package, in addition to the 40 or so that are also available. So you have no shortage of effects that are available. It's just a specialized, catered set of sounds for the Jimi Hendrix package. It does look like that's the only package available, which is a little disappointing considering the Spark Mini has been out for, what, 2 years now? There's a whole host of delay options. There's some reverb options. And let's show you some things here. So if I put this back to the sound that I programmed here, this is a lead setting that I've programmed into here, which uses the Clone Drive clone, which is called the Clone Drive. There's no indication if they actually sampled or IR'd any of the amps or the pedals that are on this app. I'm assuming they went through the due diligence involved in that, but this person's outside our hallway vacuuming right now, and instead of just doing like one solid vacuum to make sure they've got it, they vacuum for 2 seconds and turn off. I don't know if you can hear that. So after a little bit of tinkering, I've gotten the app loaded up, I've gotten the Apple Music to synchronize. I can actually turn on a song now and jam along with it, which is really cool. But I did notice that once you have your iPad or phone synchronized to the Spark Mini and playing music back to it, you then lose the USB connection on the back side. That might be a licensing thing, so you don't record music from the internet through the amp to the computer. Whatever it is, that's one little hiccup that you'll have to get over, is you won't actually be able to record via the USB you practicing with that song. Now, if I turn the music off and unsynchronize the Bluetooth, then I can record from the USB, no problem at all. So anyway, let's see. Let's play a song here. This is a song I wrote about 5,000 years ago. So you can turn up the sound of the music by itself. You can turn up the guitar. Let's look at some of the other cool features here that I really like. There's a tuner option here in the settings, which you get these sort of half spheres that converge. I actually really like this interface. That's great. There's a metronome feature as well. Let's see, how do you set that? You just click and drag it down. Along with all the amps and the effects is every one of the pots and the knobs and the dials are actually all interactive on the app. You can see here, you can adjust the gain, the output, the treble. If you go to the amps, you can adjust the gain there, the bass, the middle. That's actually a lot of functionality. I do think that the Spark Mini is worth it. The only thing I've seen that competes with it is nearly almost three times the price, and that's the Yamaha THC Mini portable amp. And that also does have a built-in battery, but I think that's only good for 4 or 6 hours, which is generally plenty of time. But it did not have nearly as many amp models or pedal simulations in it as the Spark Mini does. Now the Spark Mini is not cheap, it's $230, but at half the price, more than half the price of the Yamaha, I think it's definitely worth it. And it does get loud, you know, let's see. This is a decibel meter here. Right now I've got the knob set about halfway up. That was reading about 98 decibels on here, and that's plenty loud, I think, for practicing by yourself. I don't think you're gonna be able to take this into a full garage and play along with somebody that's slamming away at the Babinga Tama set or something, but for sitting around in your room, it's great. You can turn it down. Like I said, you can plug in your headphones. You can still get all the amp models and experiment that way. So there's a couple cons to this amp too. When you use the line out, it does shut off the speaker. I was hoping to record that line out while I was playing my guitar so that I could have clean audio to put into this video, but as it was, I was able to use the USB out to get some of that clean audio. So, you know, that's a trade-off. The app works great, but it does take a little bit of tinkering. For example, when I first turn this on, it says connected by USB. I go to play music. It was playing the music back, but I wasn't hearing it on here, and that actually was something else that I had to go into and connect via Bluetooth audio as well. So it's not just enough that you have the Bluetooth connected. There's 2 separate Bluetooth connections, and one of them is pairing the audio from iTunes or YouTube, wherever it goes from, to the speaker. And then the second is just the app controls pairing to the speaker as well. Something that's really cool about the music app is if the song's already in there, it'll actually show you the chord progression too, which is actually really neat. It's nice that you can tweak your sounds while the song's playing, and it's cool that it shows you the chords. I don't know how accurate they are or where this information comes from. There are a couple other things you can buy to go along with this amp as well. Send in a photo of your cat or your big toe or your grandma, and they'll print it, and you can put that screen on there, and that's pretty neat. You can also buy a foot switch that somehow plugs into this, or it might be USB, and that would actually control the 4 different options that are available up there as well. But I don't know if the foot switch also can be tied into some of the different pedals. You could turn off a reverb or turn on a gain pedal or something with that. That might be something that is in the pipeline, or maybe it already does that. I don't have the pedal, so I don't know. There's little quirkiness with the app that I think could get better developed. It works a lot better in portrait mode than landscape mode. Landscape mode tends to cut off some of the stomps on the stomp boxes, which is just a finger press. If you don't have access to that stomp, it sort of takes away some of the instant nature of being able to have all your pedals there. I would definitely recommend this. I think it's a great practice amp. If you got the bones for it, 230 bucks, I definitely think it's worth it. It has a ton of features, ton of functionality. Anyway, that's my 10-minute review. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time.